welcome to this video. I have a nice question here. I hope I'll be able to explain it for the viewers to be able to understand what I'll be talking about. Okay, we are given, okay, the, the sketch below shows f and g, the graphs of f of x, which is defined by this, and g of x, which is defined by this, respectively. Okay, here are the sketches that they are talking about here in the statement. One thing, okay, before I check these two, before I check these points, let me first analyze the graphs a bit, not in depth. The graph of f is a hyperbola. We see it because of it has the vertical asymptote at x is equal to 0, and it also has the horizontal asymptote at y is equal to -1. Okay, interesting. So now this one, it is in a linear form because of it is to the power of 1. So it is in the form, it is a straight line function. It is in this form where a is the gradient, and q is the what? It is this, the y-intercept. Now let me read the following pointers. Point A and point B. Point A and point B, they lie on graph G, and they have these coordinates, the coordinates of A, the coordinates of B. The graphs, they intersect at points C, as point C, and D. Beautiful. Where they intersect is where they meet, where they touch. Actually, let me say where they are equals to, where they're equals to one another, is where f of x is equal to g of x. That's where they intersect. I hope you're together. Because of this property is very important. I love saying where they intersect is where they are equal, because of this property is very important. Line BE is drawn parallel to the y-axis. Line BE, this line BE is parallel to the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. Oh yes. So now let's get to our questions. What I know about they say show that A is equal to 2 and Q is equal to -2. Here's A, here's Q. I must get A and Q. What do I know about this function g of x? Here's the function g of x. Here's the function g of x. What I know about it, I know it has these coordinates. These points, I mean, with this point B has these coordinates 3 and 4, and A has these coordinates -1 and -4. So because of I said that A is the gradient, the formula for calculating the gradient or the slope, I say A is equivalent to, okay, the formula, let me first write the formula for calculating the gradient. The formula for calculating the gradient or the slope is change in y divided by change in x, which is essentially the same as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus. So now to calculate the coordinates, and now to calculate the gradient, A is equals to, we can use any of the points. Let me just say 4 minus -4 divided by 3 minus minus 1. I think I shouldn't write these things here. I should just go down. Okay. I should just go down because of I'll mess up there. I'll mess up the question. A is equals to 4 minus negative 4 divided by 3 minus negative is equals to 8 all over 4 is equals to 2. So therefore it concludes that our A is equals to 2. Now let's go up. Now let's go up. We must get that Q is equals to negative 2. So since now we have our A. We have our A. Since we have our A now, it means that we can write our g of x now. It can be in this form. It's equals to 2x plus what? Plus q, because we haven't got q yet. So to get q, we can take any of the coordinates. Any of the coordinates, like we just substitute. We can just play a game of substituting. Let me check these coordinates. 3 and 4. So in the place of y, in the place of y, I put 4. In the place of x, I put, what is this? 3. Let me put it down there. Then our q, okay, we have y is equals to 2x plus q. Then we know that the coordinates for b is 4. No, not 4. It's 3. Sorry. It's 3 and 4. So in the place of y, okay, let me not write y because of I shouldn't be. G of x is equals to 2x plus q. So in the place of y, g of x, I place 4. 2 times 3 plus q. So q is going to be equals to negative 2. So I guess we proved that. So yeah, you'll get your 2 marks. So now let's get to 5.2. Determine the values of x where f of x is equals to g of x. Like I mentioned, where f of x is equal to g of x is where the graphs intersect. Is where the graph intersect. So it means actually we'll be getting the coordinate, the x coordinates for C and D indirectly. Beautiful. So let me go down. Our f of x is equal to 1 divided by x minus, and our g of x now, since we have all the 2's, is going to be 2x minus 2. So now I'm going to have to equate them. So what is the first thing that I can do? I don't like fractions. Actually, I like them, but then I don't like them in this accident. So I multiply both sides. What I do on the left is what I do on the right by x. Multiply by x. So here x will divide. Here x will be. Here x will divide. Then x times negative 1 is going to be negative x. X times 2x is going to be 2x squared minus 2x. So taking these things to the other side, actually it's not taking things to the other side. I'm actually subtracting same as I'm subtracting the whole thing on both sides. I don't know. Because of I'm eliminating it. When I eliminate, I'm subtracting. I'm subtracting this. Like I said, I'm subtracting this on both sides. So even on this side, I'll be subtracting it. So on this side, it's gonna be is the same. I'm subtracting. So here's where I come to this point. I hope we are good. So going back to our algebra. Why am I making this terrible mistake? So now I have to factorize in order to get the x, the values of x. Factorizing, I have to find the numbers that will give me 2x squared. So 2x and x, they give me 2x squared. I have to find the two numbers that give me -1. So one of them has to be negative, the other one has to be positive. So here I'm just going to be testing numbers. Okay, that's why I'm putting negatives on both sides. So -1 times 2x minus x is equal to -3x. No, wrong. So here's gonna be plus, because of it's gonna be -1 times x plus x is gonna give us negative x. So our 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, x minus 1 is equal to 0. For us to get a product that gives us 0, one of these has to be 0. So 2x plus 1 has to be 0. If it's or actually let me say or, because of even when the two of them are 0, still it gives us 0. So when 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, then we get the product of 0. Even when x minus 1 is 0, we get the product. So our value of x is going to be -1/2, or x is equal to 1. So we got the values of x that they are looking for. Or let me go check the question. Yeah, the values of x for which x is equal to that. So now let me go back and check, because of the coordinates that I got. Remember the coordinates that I got. The coordinates that I got for x is -1/2, or x is equal to 1. So it means here on D, because of D is on the positive side, the x value is 1. But we already know that the y value is 0, since it's on the x-axis. So now on C, it's -1/2. We don't know the y. We don't know the y, but we can get it. Let me write it YC. Okay. I guess we are happy for we got our 4 marks. So now 5.3, it says the value of x for which u of x is greater or equals to f of x, where g of x is greater or equals to f of x is where g of x is above or equal f of x. So that is what we're going to be looking for. So we're going to be looking for the values of x where that condition is met, is satisfied. So let's go to our, I think I must first erase this mess for me to be able to do some proper analysis. Yeah, only this is enough. Okay, yeah, but the coordinates, the x coordinates of all, I need them, I believe. So let's go check where g, here's our g, here's our g, here's our g. We are concerned with g, the man of the match is g. We are looking for g. Where it's above, where is g above? Where is g above f of x? So now we see here in this portion, you see from here going there, g is above. You can see because of here f is below, and here g is equals to f of x. We should also check that. So that is the first one. So it's gonna be at x it's greater or equals to 0, or in interval notation I can write x is an element in the domain where like from 1 to infinity. Yeah, beautiful. So is that the only place? Let me check. And also here, guys, beautiful. Here g of x, here g of x is also above f of x because of this is also f of x. So we know the x coordinate is from, it's from -1 over 2 to 0. It's x 1 over 2 to 0. And also we must also include at this point because of here f of x is equals to f of it's equal to f of x is equal to g of x, so we must also include this. And in interval notation, is gonna be x is an element. This is very important to mention, so let me write it here. So it's gonna be x is gonna be an element. We write this bracket to show that we include -1 over 2 and also 2 up to 0. We don't include 0 because of the function and never touches 0, it just approaches. Okay, let me go down and write the answers. Oh, I forgot to number these things. I forgot to number these things. This is 5.1. This is 5 point, is it 5.2? I think 5.3 I also wrote to 5.3. Okay, I was on 5.3 now. I wrote it above then. So 5.3, we have that our x is greater or equals to 1, which can also be written as, or this or means a lot, which can also be written as h there on in the beginning, in the there I didn't include. I must also include one I forgot here. Let's go back. Here in the red. I forgot to mention that, like, to show that I'm also including. I said 0. No, it's fine. So I forgot to the square bracket. Let's go down. Yeah, here's how I'm supposed to write it. Then you're gonna get your marks, and also add please don't make the mistake that I made there. The mistake of not including -1. I mean say 1, sorry. Please don't make this mistake. And this mistake of me also writing 0 instead of 1, don't make these mistakes. These mistakes will cost you a loads of unnecessary marks in the examination. Guys, please be careful. Be careful. Sometimes you find that you think you wrote something but you didn't write it. Sometimes when you're writing it, you find that you wrote nonsense but you thought you're writing, you know your work. So please, guys, be careful whenever you're writing. So now they say calculate the length of BE. Here's BE. They say BE is parallel to the y-axis. So since BE is parallel to the y-axis, it means the x coordinates on this line are the same. It means even at 3, the x coordinate is 3, but the y coordinate at E, I don't know it. But for me to get the y coordinate at E, I should check the fact that E is also on this graph, the f of x. Beautiful. So I'm gonna have to get the coordinates of E. It's a need because of BE, since BE is parallel to the y-axis BE, then we don't have to consider the x part. So BE is gonna be the same as y at B minus y at E. So I must get the y at E for me to be able to get the length of BE. Okay, let me go down to calculate the y coordinate of E. I'm gonna write in f of I want to get the E, the coordinate of E is 3 and ye. So it's on f of x. Since f of x, we know that f of x is equals to 1 over x minus y. In the place of x, I put 3. It's equals to okay. So our BE is equals to y at B minus y at E. I wrote there above. Let's go check what is the y at B. I didn't record that one. Sorry, guys. It's 4. Okay. Here's our answer. Yeah, BE is equals to 14 over 3 units, or is equals to how many times 3 goes into this? It goes 3 goes how many times? 4. It goes 4 times, and it leaves a remainder of 2 over 3. Yeah, I think I'm correct. I think I'm correct. Okay, now we're gonna look into I think the last question. The last question. I feel I'm correct. Why am I doubting myself? Yeah, so now you get your marks. Okay, they say write down the equation for H. Okay, wait. H is equals to f of x. F of x we know is defined by what? Plus 3. So f of x is defined by f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. Okay, let me go write the solution down. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? It's 5.5. 5.5. It's 5.5. Yeah, this is 5.4, which I keep on making mistakes. 5.4, this one. So for 5.5, we're given that h of x is equal to f of x plus 3. But we know that f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. So our h of x is going to be equals to 1 over x minus 1. This is f of x plus 3. It's going to be equals to 1 over x minus 1 plus 3 is our answer. Thank you guys. I really enjoyed doing this question. I hope whoever's watching this video understood. Thank you.